here we go. Back again. Back again. Alright? And today it is the 11th, would you believe it, episode of the Done Previously Fought Syndrome. Alright? But of course, if you go on to my YouTube video list, you will, including this episode here, you will only find 10. And that is, of course, because our good friends who are there to look out for us, the Fought Police at YouTube, well, they fucking removed it, right? And I have a hunch as to why, because I do recall the video quite well, and there was a study published about the effects on children from this mysterious virus, COVID-19, right? And some of the effects were the same as the effects of radiation. Something that begins with a 5, right? And yeah, I sort of linked the two. So I would imagine that is why they decided to remove it. And of course, I had no chance to appeal. So yeah, there you go. It's gone now. But yeah, I'd imagine that is why it was removed. But this is, of course, the syndrome. So let's see. And like I always say, the syndrome will end when the deception fucking ends. But of course, it never ends. It continues. And as far as this week, we will touch on only a few of the current agendas that seem to have the syndrome. And as you can see, 5 days ago, from New Food, survey highlights wider pool of meat reducers than previously thought. Right, so they've done this survey and it's wider than they thought. Ain't that a surprise, right? And it would be down to, of course, behaviour change, and we'll expand on it a wee bit. The data secured has found that millions of casual consumers have already converted to significant meat reduction behaviours and practices. Across each country, the vast majority of participants have only converted to these eating practices in the last 18 months, with key motivations cited as health, the environment, and ethical reasons such as animal cruelty and welfare. Often, one individual will drive change across a household, suggesting that it may be millennials converting parents and or siblings. Right, but of course a lot of that is all manipulated and is basically forced upon us, because the way they treat animals is beyond belief, really. And the mass production it's quite staggering, and it is enough to put people off meat. But that could change if they wanted to change it, but of course they don't. So yeah, I can understand that. I do enjoy meat, so I find it. I feel personally it would be quite hard for me to give up eating meat. Although I do sort of feel that I do want to, due to the way that animals are treated, and the stuff that they put in food as well, and the injections that they give these animals. I personally worked on a pig farm up here in Lossiemouth in Murrayshire, and even helped. I think it would have been about Jesus, 5, 6, maybe even 7 years ago, and I even helped vaccinate these piglets, and they must have been about a week old, and if I recall correctly, they would get 2 injections, and God only knows what the fuck it was that they were putting in them poor wee pigs. But yeah, that is enough to put people off, so I totally understand that. But of course, that is stuff that can be changed. Let's face it. But this is, of course, the world that we live in. Welcome to fucking 2020, right? And sticking with the syndrome, actually, just finally, in terms of the meat, as much as I enjoy eating meat, chicken and fish, I have always wondered if humans are meant to eat meat. I look at our teeth, I thought, well, we don't seem to have teeth that is built for eating meat. And that's a question, or like a thought that I recall having even at a young age when feeding cows in a cow field, feeding them grass and different weeds, and their teeth being similar but a lot bigger to ours, right? Whereas a tiger obviously has completely different teeth, right? They can rip apart meat, no problem. So that is something that I've always wondered. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on meat. And in terms of the meat production, well, we do know, of course, where that's fucking heading. And it is Dr. Gates with all his PhDs and degrees. He's cooking up some meat in his lab. So that's gonna replace the meat and solve all the problems, right? So again, they create the problem, but they have the solution. How wonderful, right? And this is from Physics.org, so you know it's fucking real good stuff, right? 2 days ago, 3 rings, wow, show scale of Arctic pollution is worse than previously thought. What a fucking surprise. The largest ever study of 3 rings from Norslik in the Russian Arctic has shown that the direct and indirect effects of industrial pollution in the region and beyond are far worse than previously thought. Right, so they're using the 3 rings to further push the agenda, right? So they're obviously going to be saying, well, this is a big, big problem, right? It's a big danger. It goes on to say the researchers used a process-based forward model of boreal tree growth, right? Computer modelling. What a surprise. With and without surface irritants, forcing as a proxy for pollutants to show that Arctic dimming since the 1970s has substantially reduced tree growth. Right, so yeah, they're going to be saying that this is bad news, right? So what does it say? Well, what surprised us is just how widespread the effects of industrial pollution are. Right, the scale of the damage shows just how vulnerable and sensitive the boreal forest is, said Boonteggen, right? Must be German, possibly, right? A student say must, he could be, he might not be. Given the ecological importance of this biome, the pollution levels across the high northern latitudes could have an enormous impact on the entire global carbon cycle. Dun dun dun. So again, yeah, it's the global warming agenda being pushed at full throttle, and it's worse than they could ever have imagined or had ever thought. thanks to the tree rings and the computer modelling. Right, sure. And sticking with the syndrome, I did see this. The oceans are absorbing more carbon, than previously thought. Now, ain't that a surprise? But it just again goes to show how little they know about the ocean or anything, really. And I did see this as well 9 hours ago, which was the 29th of September. Tech Explorist. Coronal mass injections could be more extreme than previously thought. Right, so this is another thing that has the syndrome, so look out for more from it, because it will be manipulated and used probably against us. Right, this is another one that comes out a lot, and we have seen it in the syndrome already, but before it was in terms of people arriving in Western America, if my memory serves me correct. And here we have it again, where they got it wrong, and humans arrived a lot earlier in Europe, Western Europe, than they previously thought. So that is a continuing one that seems to happen, where it's like, whoops, we got it wrong. It's 30,000 years earlier than we thought, but it continues. It has the syndrome big time when it comes to archaeological finds that basically rewrite history, right? And we will leave that for the time being, but rest assured, it will be back in the syndrome, that is for sure. And this came from the Independent 1 day ago. Volcanoes have played larger role in temperature variability than previously thought. Right, and volcanoes is an interesting one for sure. I don't know very much about volcanoes, if I am honest, but I do know that a lot of people, believe it or not, question the true nature of things like volcanoes, right, or how they come about. Is more like it. And personally, in a sea of deception, who would really know what is driving fucking what? And of course, the champions of the syndrome, they covered the testimony of trees, right? How volcanic eruptions shaped 2,000 years. Right, so, eruptions shape the world. So, are we gonna see the world get fucking reshaped? Right? Do volcanoes have the syndrome? And who knows? Maybe they plan on triggering one of their volcanoes. Right? That would be fucking fantastic. That would it? That would be all that we need, given the current affairs. Right? The tyranny, of course. And as you can see, researchers have shown that over the past 2,000 years, volcanoes have played a larger role in natural temperature variability than previously thought. Right, and their climate effects may have contributed to past societal and economic change. Right, so I think we will keep an eye on this one. And it then says, the expert is quoted, humans have no effect on whether or not a volcano erupts, but the warming trend we are seeing right now is certainly related to human activity. Right. Said Buntagen, right? Or Buntagen, maybe, is probably better, right? While not, I'm actually, German was a language I wasn't too bad at when it comes to school in terms of French and Spanish. No, I was terrible. I really struggled with Spanish, but German, not so bad, right? But no expert, of course. Like with everything, very minimal in terms of my limitations, right? But sticking with what it says, he finishes off by saying, while nothing about the future is certain, we would do well to learn how climate change has affected human civilization in the past. Right. So yeah, like I said, I think this is one that we will keep an eye on. And would you believe it? Birds, they have or are at least starring in the syndrome, and it is in particular the bird brain, right? It seems that we as humans don't really know anything about fucking anything, let's face it. We claim to know stuff, but in reality we know nothing, right? And that is, as you can see, a starling, right? And this is them in a group. They do this most evenings, if not every evening, just outside my house, not far from it. And I always like to watch them doing it. It's quite mesmerising, and it's good when they land as well. They all seem to land at the same time. So me and my son, we always keep an eye out for them because, yeah, they're great to watch. And if you've not seen starlings flying in a park, then look it up. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we get to see it just about every evening when we can, of course. But yeah, in the summer, it's fantastic. It's about the same time every night. They all fucking take off and start flying about, and then they all land at the same time. And you can see them sort of, will we land? And they don't do it. And then they do it again, and then a third time, and then they all land. And that is them for the night. But yeah, the birds, they have the syndrome. But like I said, in particular, the bird brain, it seems that they didn't know the bird brain at all. And I really do wonder what's next with the syndrome. As you can see, it's from Scientific American 5 days ago. Bird brains are far more human-like than once thought. Right. So, yeah, birds, their brains are more like humans than we knew. So, yeah, again, we know nothing about anything, right? And it says the avian cortex had been hiding in plain sight all along. Right, humans were just too bird-brained to see it. Right, but I, personally, haven't been looking at bird brains. So yeah, the question is, I suppose, who exactly has been doing these kind of things? Or has there been a major sort of discovery, right? And to expand on it a bit, 2 papers published today in Science find birds actually have a brain that is much more similar to our complex primate organ than previously fought. Right. For years, it was assumed that the avian brain, so they just assumed it, was limited in function because it lacked a neocortex. In mammals, the neocortex is the hulking, evolutionary, modern outer layer of the brain that allows for complex cognition even, and creativity, and that makes up for most of what invertebrates as a whole even is called the pallium. The new findings show that birds do in fact have a brain structure that is comparable to the neocortex, despite taking a different shape. Right, so that is how they missed it, right? That must be it. It had a different shape. So yeah, you can see how these so-called experts, past and present even, have missed this trick with the bird brain, right? It was a different shape. And it then says, it turns out that at a cellular level, the brain region is laid out much like the mammal cortex, explaining why many birds exhibit advanced behaviours and abilities that have long befuddled scientists. Right, and it was a different shape. And that is basically the hard evidence that now proves bird brains are similar to humans, right? And it was a crow that seemingly has a conscience like humans. Poor birds suffer just like us, right? And crows, I do know, are really fucking intelligent birds. And a person at my school actually had a tame crow, and it was quite cool. And they can be very intelligent indeed, probably even smarter than some fucking humans. I shit you not. But yeah, birds are in the syndrome, so it's quite interesting. It will be quite interesting even to see where this all heads, right? Because they seem to be now possibly steering this in a certain direction. So yeah, like with everything, we will keep an eye on it, right? But there you go. If you've got a pet bird, you want to consider that he or she might have a conscience, right? But that is it for this week's syndrome. I do have a couple of videos that I want to work on. One of them is about the death of football, or football as we call it here in Scotland, and it is something that is quite close to me personally, because every weekend, if not every other weekend, I would be at the football, which was basically a mass gathering, which is now, of course, due to COVID, a thing of the fucking past, right? It's gone now. And I would be at that, or if not in Elgin, it would be elsewhere. I would be travelling across Scotland to different towns and cities, different clubs, and supporting local clubs and local communities, because it's more than a game when it comes to local clubs. They do a lot more, or they did at least once upon a time do a lot more for communities than just play football. Right, so that's one that I would like to make, so look out for that. There is a few other things, but until then, I will be back on Friday with the Friday Fix. And yeah, the deception continues. So yeah, thanks to everyone, and that is about it. Bye bye.